So many blessings to you. Thank you for coming. Truly, I was reminded yesterday from the universe about, just the gratefulness that you come. It's, it's, you know, I feel it so deeply that you're willing to do this deeper, more feminine, more emotional exploration. It is just brave. Okay. It's very brave in this world. And it gives my life enormous meaning to be able to share it. Yeah, I really want to please understand this and how deeply I understand what it's like when the clouds come and then the wonder of the breakthroughs. And no teacher can lift it off us, right? We have well, Amma, she says she can lift 80% of our karma. So, I mean, it's like a no-brainer there. But, teachers can make it easier. It can provide a little bit of company and support. And may all of your hearts expand with feelings of being worthy. Yeah. And of being able to walk this way, because you guys are already divine beings. We're just reminding you. You're just being reminded. That's it. Yeah. So we're calling on grace to help us and to receive. May we receive it more and more every single day, every single moment, become more and more able to feel the unconditional love out of which this whole world is made. Amma says the whole universe is a bubble in herself. This is, you guys, the universe is a bubble in yourself too. Yeah. Okay. May we realize the divine more and more in every moment of our lives. And so it is. Okay. Yesterday was quite an intense question and answer. And afterwards, I felt enormous compassion for you guys. And I walked around for, 24 hours with what needs to happen here? What what needs to come to help you guys? Okay. So, it's really, really important what I'm going to say. And yeah, please hear it. So when I'm working with you guys and you're trying to get what I'm saying, and what I'm saying has come from countless spiritual fires, you see? So it's not so understandable with where many of you are. It just isn't. And sometimes you can feel that I don't really get you, that I'm not really getting what you're saying. And so I really want to point to something is the Western, we do not have any intellectual framework to handle the spiritual journey. Please understand this. Our churches were used to, an hour sermon and a temporary feel good, an hour sermon from someone who's maybe not enlightened, and a feel good afterwards of meeting everybody. It's a group high. We've got the Course in Miracles. That's a little bit of a help. Okay, so you guys, I really want to steer you back to reading the Gita, reading Lao Tzu's The Way of the Tao. Michael, you're studying with Amma, right? You're doing a course on the Gita. Can you say just a word or two about what that's done for you?
Um, well, I just started, and there's like 700 verses, and we're up to number 35. But just in the beginning, it's really enlightening through a lot of symbolism how they how the Gita imparts, very, very old knowledge and the spiritual knowledge, which at the end of the day is something very simple, but it's brought across in a way that makes it very, very understandable.
Yes.
And it helps me emotionally because I understand it, a little
Yes.
more intellectually.
Yes. And not only that, Michael, it's like you will understand more of what I say because you've got more of an intellectual framework with which
Mhm.
to receive it. See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you guys, Westerners, you do it all the time. You know what you do when you go immediately into I'm doing it wrong. I'm wrong. I and that's the last thing I want you to do. Don't do that. But just understand that your Western intellectual, our training is not make us good receivers of spiritual knowledge. It just doesn't compute. We're so outward, you guys. So the knowledge comes and we're so outward. And then we actually go into confusion and into feeling bad about ourselves. Okay. And this is, it's kind of crushing for Premasudha to watch. And often it's my words then in it seem to invite you into this being crushed, and it's the last thing I want, but I'm trying to give you knowledge. I'm trying to transmit knowledge, and I can't, it's the knowledge. I mean, I can't mess with it. So remember the turning inside that I've talked a lot about with Gabriel coming and saying, tell them, to turn inside. It's like if you can almost got these courses on the Gita, but you can also, and that would be good, you can also read these books kind of chronically all the time. Pick them up, read them. And they might not make sense, but over time they will make sense. But it's probably best for many to do some sort of a course or read a book about it so that you can expand your container so that you can let the knowledge come. Yeah, please, you guys. I mean, I I kind of can't stand it. I mean, it's painful when I see you guys going into, oh, I'm doing it wrong, and it's like, oh no. And even what I'm saying may not be very understandable, you see, but as you open up to this working with your intellect, re-educating your intellect with how to receive the knowledge, it will get much easier for you. Yeah. Now, another way to say it is, in the spiritual journeys, we have the labyrinth and we walk around the labyrinth. Okay. When you read the Gita, read Lao Tzu, read these books, you are helping the labyrinth work for your heart. You harness the energy that's in the labyrinth of the intellect to assist you to come into the heart. And without this, so many of you are just so confused, really. And then with my input, you just feel bad about yourselves. It's really painful for Premasudha. I'll tell you, it's high pain about this. Yeah, it's like a mom with kids. Yeah, please. But you can do this for yourself. Now, the reason I'm raising it is because, as I've said to you're tired, like until I was 50, I didn't really have a teacher. I did this stuff instinctively. I just turned to these books. It was just instinctive. And I noticed that as the time went on, I developed a bigger and bigger understanding. Another thing you could do is A Course in Miracles if you really want to stay kind of with the Western mind. But I'll tell you, there's something about understanding Shiva, this guy, the main god in the Indian Hindu thing. And he sits in in a graveyard, really, crematorium thing, because they burn bodies in India. And he's covered with ash. Okay, so Premasudha just looks at this and goes, this is a total picture of the death of the ego. And when we die, when our ego dies, we will feel our life turning to ash. Our hopes and dreams, they seem like ashes. It is so what the ego death feels like. And being in a crematorium or like in this graveyard with the burning, it's like that is the game. The enlightened person lives there. They just live there, in this whole earth experience is just, it's nothing. It's just like, you could look at it like a graveyard. It's the in the East they say, don't try to fix earth. It's just burning. The earth is burning. It's like we come here to allow our egos to be burned off. That's why we're here, you guys. When you understand more of what I'm saying intellectually, it will become much easier to grow. So you can do this for yourself. You can take this up, and look at these books. Lao Tzu, I used to get, in the Way of the Tao, I used to get kind of a soothed feeling when I read it, but I didn't really understand it. But now it's like 1+1 = 2. So Lao Tzu says stuff like, okay, if you get a lot of rules in a culture, people will become dishonest and poor. Okay, the reason they will become dishonest is because, just like little kids, we want our own way. The rules get in the way. And the other thing is the cost of keeping all these rules alive keeps everybody poor. It's like taxes. So, the more you can see this, like, see the truth of these books and what they're pointing to. Lao Tzu says, if people are left to themselves, they tend to do the right thing. And, when I was growing up, our medicine, I'm not promoting this, I'm just telling you this, okay? The medicine was not socialized, but my mom was a nurse, and she said every doctor would do 10 or 15% of their work pro bono. That was just how it was. And, now I see that there are all these in Vancouver, these clinics are closing because the government cannot pay the doctors enough to keep to work overtime. So the clinics are closing because nobody wants to work more than 9 to 5. It's very understandable, but what we've lost is the art of healing. In the old days where the doctors used to come to our houses. Now, you guys, this is partly the reason for this is this huge surge in population. So when I was, so there were 2 billion people in 1945. When my sons were born in 1983, 1985, there was 4 billion. Okay, now it's 7 or 8. It's like and like I said to you, this this mathematics is the math that produces the max chaos. This book, the chaos theory I read. So, obviously there's this movement into chaos so that we'll find a new way, find a truer way. I've probably really confused you with all this. I hope not. What's most important is, if you pick up these books like the Gita, just, or I think Amma's got some videos about the Gita. Even if you do something like maybe the Course in Miracles, to keep your intellect working in a certain positive way, so that every day you are taking action to bring more truth in kind of a structured way, this can really help. So what I'm feeling is, it's like, again, I'm seeing this picture of toddlers and they're all squirming around. It's like, with kindergartners, you've got about like 5 minutes you can talk before the squirming starts. And it's like, I understand this stuff doesn't compute. But I know that the creator is running the satsang. Truth is running the satsang. Unconditional love is running the satsang. I feel Amma is. I mean, some people might not agree, but it's a higher understanding wanting to come through. That's it. That's why you guys are here. The thing is, as you really study the Gita or Lazo or probably any religious book, what will happen is it will help you learn to go inside. Okay, that's the heart of what I'm saying. If you want to learn to go inside, getting some kind of education about these books will help you go inside. Right. It's very difficult to do it with kind of the normal Western viewpoint because we're so outward. Yeah. I can feel your longing for a bigger understanding. And I've said to you many times, I can't do this for you. You have to walk it. And again, the Western training is to come in, sit down, shut up, and be force-fed, basically. And then spill it all out when you get your PhD or graduate. And this is more, you're divine beings. You're in this human life. And it's your chance to wake up here. Yeah, it's your chance to wake up. This is what needs to hit home, you guys. It needs to reach your heart. It doesn't matter what teacher you're studying with. You have to understand this is your chance to wake up, and only you are in charge. Yeah, get that. Only you are in charge. That's it. Okay. You're this is sitting right round your hearts. Right, good. 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 That's it. You guys will get nowhere until you get this. And it's not like it's on your shoulders. It's just your willingness to follow the guidance. Like as I walked around in all the confusion I was walking around in, I picked up these books. And I picked them up because they made me feel better. And the reason they made me feel better is they were carrying divine knowledge. Okay. This is why it's so important that you realize that you're the key, because if you don't, you won't follow the guidance. When you really understand that it's up to you, you will follow your guidance. Truly. You will be able to hear it and then follow it. All this takes time. You're all at such different places. And some of you, are not even formally on the journey. So you might not even pick these books up. But you still might have a heart expansion. And I'll tell you, if you do pick the books up, you will be enhanced. Right. Good. Good. And remember, whatever power is coming from the satsang is coming because Premasudha was really distressed after yesterday's question and answer at how upset with yourselves you were getting. And, if you get upset with yourself and it turns into a surrender, that's really good work. But if you get upset with yourself and you just go around in, I'm a miserable sinner, 1,000 more lifetimes. The reason I talk about see where we are clearly, because if you understand that our Western mind has a knee-jerk, exploit Mother Nature, exploit other people to get what you want. This is what we're taught, you guys. I say all these things so that you can see what you've been laboring under and see why maybe life hasn't worked so well, or why it's been hard to make progress on the spiritual journey. Because we make progress on the spiritual journey when we allow the penny to drop in our hearts. The penny drops and we get an understanding. We get a bigger understanding. And you do this by, you guys, letting yourself just be a human being. I'll come back to it. In the English aristocrat, aristocracy, they all walk around just wearing the old clothes because they have nothing to prove. This is what we all should be like. We have nothing to prove. We're valuable as we are. It's like that's what these aristocratic people get taught from the very beginning, that they're okay the way they are. That is what is so valuable. That. And it doesn't, it's presumed by that they have these huge stately manners and everything, and there's all this economic stuff behind it. But the heart of it, just that they're okay the way they are. This is what I want to transmit to you guys. But at the same time, I want you to let me speak to you and make corrections. Some of you, okay, you guys, some of you, okay, some of you are scared of me and you don't want to bond with me, but you want to get from me this knowledge. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay. I deeply understand it. But it will be very hard for you to get what I'm talking about if there's this feeling of, well, she's too dangerous, and but I want her knowledge. Or she's too dangerous because she might crush my ego and I'm not ready. And that is an okay state, not to be ready, not to want to come anywhere near the teacher. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't want to come near the teacher, then read the Gita and the Lao Tzu, do that. And that will be a good half step for you to be able to, bond more with the teacher. Right. Right. And you're okay the way you are. You guys, it's like, I am grateful for you, just as you are. And yesterday, the universe gave me a nudge about that. And I'm taking that very seriously. You guys, I want to also talk about inflation and deflation, because this is very related to what I'm saying. When I went to England as a journalist, I hadn't had much training as a journalist. Premasudha, I just went there. I'm like, well, I'll figure it out. And I got a job finally after 6 months because there was a big depression around the newspapers. But anyway, I finally got this job. And the first week, I wrote an article, and the guy was really pleased, and he ran with it on the front page. Okay, I was like, oh, wow, I've nailed it, right? Oh, good. The next thing that happens is it begins to dawn on me what I've told you before, that I got a job with the biggest bully in England's journalism thing, where hardly any English people would work for him, and he paid Fleet Street wages, which is like, the newspaper street back then. Really high wages because he was so difficult to work with. So in the next few weeks, it was dawning on me where I was. It was like my dad times 100 times worse. And my writing, I started getting really incompetent with all the upset. Yeah, my issues, my psychological issues were coming up, and I just got, and I didn't lose my job or anything, but he made it clear that I disappointed him. And then this was just more of my upbringing. So I want to I wasn't on the journey then, but you guys, this can happen spiritually on the journey. Okay, so some of you, you make steps, and it's fantastic. And the ego will want to use that energy to prop it up. And it will happen beyond your understanding. Okay. Basically, early spiritual seekers, the ego will grab the knowledge, they will inflate and go, I'm so cool. And then what will happen is, especially around a teacher, there will be a deflation going on. The teacher will go, you kind of got it, but look at this. Yeah. The other thing that will happen is what happened to me, which is I would get inflated and I would promptly trip and fall. And I would pick myself up and I would turn up my prayers and I would purify. I would become more pure. The ego would burn off, a little bit anyway. And my knowledge would get bigger. And life would go gentler with me because the more in truth we are, the gentler it gets. Most times. So what I really want to say something to you guys. If you get inflated, it's okay. It's going to be inevitable. Please don't crush yourself. A bit of inflation. Oh, well. Like, it's actually Premasudha things. It's way better to get inflated than to go around being scared of inflation and staying there your whole life because you know who's telling you, oh, you watch, you be careful that you don't get inflated. Do you know who's telling you that? The ego. Do you understand? That is what's really serious. If you've got that, it's that. You've got to give it over. If you inflate, oh, well, you will be deflated. It's like life will deflate you. I'll deflate you. It's like, don't worry about it. We're all like this. Please, it's not wasted. I wrote a book that I took up to Amma like in 2007. And, and she said, you're not quite ready. And I was like, yeah, well, back to the drawing board. Premasudha, I felt like such a screw up artist that when she said stuff like this, I would just go, okay, back to the drawing board. Like, oh, well, here I am again. Right. I'd like you guys to be a little more like that. Oh, here I am again, but I'm still lovable. It's okay. So I've been editing this book. Okay. Now, the knowledge that I wrote in was really accurate. Like what I knew, I really knew. I just wasn't living it, you guys. I wasn't living it. So now when I'm writing and making alterations, I'm writing it with keeping the knowledge as it is, basically. But now I'm living it. And that is carried by the words. Now, and I'm explaining things differently than I did. And I'm making it simpler. But what I want to say is, at that point, when I brought that book to Amma, I was inflated. But there was still a lot of truth in the book. I had some deep understanding. So I just, back to the drawing board, begin again, and continued on. This is what the journey is like, you guys. Many of you Westerners, do you know what you do? You do, tell me the rules of the game, and I'll play it. And so sometimes you come to me and go, okay, I've got it now. Look, I've got it. And it's like, but you're coming to me from this viewpoint of, oh, there's some rules, there's a game here, and I'm playing it the right way. And I'm going, no, 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 that's not it. You're a divine being just as you are. If you were in the middle of the road, covered in feces, you guys, you would still be God. Please, this is what I'm wishing to transmit through these satsangs. No matter what, inflated, deflated, covered in feces, in the middle of the road with no clothes on, you're still God. This is what you guys gag on. Like your Western mind goes, whoa, I don't know about that. But it's true. Yeah, please. And you guys, when you learn to love yourself at that level, where you'd still, you know, be okay with yourself, it's like, well, here I am, covered in feces. It's pretty smelly. I don't have any clothes on. I might get arrested. How did this happen? Oh, well, help, Mama. That's it. Really? You know, I was at a place, uh, somebody's child had died. It's very sad. And there was a meeting with all the parents. You know, we were all getting together. And this, I've told you this, man was smiling at me with this just sweet expression on his face. And I was wondering what, and I looked down and all my buttons had come undone. Like, you know, they were tiny buttons and it just totally exposed my chest. And I'm sitting there with these people and they already thought that I was pretty weird because I was a bit of a hippie, right? Like they didn't, yeah. And so here I am. And you know what I did? I made an executive decision. I buttoned it up and I thought to myself, I just showed my heart. I'm not going to be embarrassed about this. Right. We have choice. This is what I want you guys to do when I talk about siding with yourselves. Yeah. This is what I talk about embracing your humanity. This is what I talk about, like how we're all bumbling idiots. It's like nobody has the spiritual journey sewn up. All of us are learning. I mean, maybe Amma has it all sewn up, but I don't think personally, I don't think she'd see it that way. I remember her pressing my cheek and then looking up, and then, oh, she was mad at me. She grabbed my cheek and she looked up and then she squeezed it really hard. Like in a way that hurt. It was kind of like, actually, I felt what she was saying was to me to look to God more, you know, stop thinking that I knew what was going on and that, you know, maybe she looks to God a lot more than I did or do. Yeah. This is this turning, you guys, when I talk about how this work is turning and changing, and what's going to happen is there's going to be a real energy of transcendence coming in. Uh, my feeling is, and it could be easier for you guys to grow, but like take what I say to heart and follow it, like about these Gita and the, Lazo, and work with your intellectual framework so you can receive this knowledge. Because to the outward Western mind, it doesn't make sense. Right. Being embarrassed won't kill you. Being humiliated won't kill you. Nothing can stop a sincere seeker who wants the knowledge more than they want their egos patted. And some of you are in situations where you cannot grow any faster, where, you've got responsibilities and everything, and it's slower, and it's okay. It's okay. The training that comes with being a householder is actually even more intense than ashrams in a way, because you get the flack from your family, and then you have to support yourselves, and in this world it's a tall order. Is there any questions or comments? And a really good practical question, along with the finger exercise that I gave you about grounding, and I really would like you to use it, like keep it in mind. There's another key point that I want you to keep in mind. It's equally important. And that is, if you're in a difficult situation or in conflict, and many of us, when we come into these, we're pretty clear on what the other person did wrong and the faults of the other person. We're very clear about it, or even about life. Please, when you're in those situations, think to yourself, have I contributed to this in any way? What am I doing that I don't see? It's an important thing to add, that I don't see. What am I doing that I don't see? And that, if it's a sincere question, that will invite your psyche to come in and show you your shadow side. Like we can have a secret selfishness sometimes. If we're really like good people, we think we're really good, but we can have kind of a secret selfishness hidden in our shadow side. But anyway, it will, if the question is sincere, the information will bubble up, you guys. You will get the answers. And this is, again, I want to say to you, like, it's an inward journey. You ask these questions on the inside, and then you keep listening till you get an answer. Some of you yawned and restless. Several are restless. It's exactly around this. It's exactly around allowing the answer to come up. Okay? Gerald, I'm seeing you. It's like allowing the answer to come up. It's like there's a religiosity that I'm seeing in your unconscious that's blocking this information from your heart. So as it's being pointed out, may Amma come in and melt this for you at the highest good place. Yeah, right. Because I know you have a very sincere heart, Gerald. That's good. And Gerald, this will be in everybody. You know, this is just, it's like Gerald is the hook with that the universe is using to remove it from everybody. But you have to allow it, you guys. You have to admit it and allow it. Yeah. Oh, and I'm feeling, you guys, part of where you trip is strong ideas of right and wrong. Okay, this is the biggest lie in the West. We are obsessed with right and wrong. And Amma says being good, the whole being a good girl, being a good boy is one of the biggest blinkers on the journey. It blinds us because we're stuck in this good and bad. I want to come back to you're a divine being. You're in the middle of the road. You're covered in feces. You're naked. This is neither like the truth of it is you are a divine being. You might think this is very bad, that you're very bad to be in this position. But you're a divine being. It's just kind of inconvenient. You can have a shower. You can have a shower and it's all changed. This is what I'm saying to you guys. Let Amma give you a big shower and let this stuff go. You're a divine being no matter what you're doing. You guys, until you get this, it will be hard to understand what I'm talking about. That's it. That's it. Because you'll always be walling off. It could be not you, but it could be walled off. What I'm saying by this bad and good thing. That's it. Okay, forgiveness. Forgiveness. You guys, self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness. Self-compassion. This is, we come with all these vasanas and all this stuff. And the great thing is if we let it just be washed off. But Laura, this is where you get stuck, bad or good. Yep. And you're divine. Yeah. Right. Right. And, our families are. And, there's a way that, I remember a child saying to me that I wasn't supposed to fit in with my family. And indeed, when we have a family that's a little foreign, we tend to grow. We evolve because we're uncomfortable. So it's all good. They're just doing their gigs. We're just doing our gig.
Can I tell you what happened yesterday? Just what you said.
Okay. Sure.
After the satsang, I was really going down the rabbit hole, and this blue jay hit my window 3 times. It's like I'm
Three
saying,
times?
this blue jay, a bird, hit my
Yeah.
window 3 times. It's like I'm saying, snap out of it. Just get over it. And yeah, but thank you.
Yeah, it's a little, she'd say that with love, remember? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. poor blue jay. You're loved, sweetie. That's just, you're loved, Laura. We're just so loved, you guys. That's what self-realization is. You just realize this whole thing's an illusion and you just love. And you never did anything wrong because it's just this illusion here anyway. It doesn't matter. In the big story, it doesn't matter. This work is so challenging because it doesn't have a lot of props, you guys. It doesn't have a lot of ceremonies or rituals or anything. And those things, those ceremonies and rituals can really help the subconscious get used to the spiritual journey. That's the power of them. They can help gradually change our minds, gradually steer our minds. So it's important to keep doing them. But this work is much more Zen. It's much more the way of the Tao, without any props. Just the incredible yearning to become pure of heart and make it better here. That's it. Teachers always look for innocence, and they will always celebrate it in the students, because it's the God in the students. When you have an innocent heart, the teacher can speak directly to the God in you with no filter. And a less innocent heart is more fooled by the labyrinth of the head. For whatever reason, it's either coming from probably lifetimes, So we can work with our labyrinth by, doing these spiritual practices, but, reading. Because you guys, you're all intelligent. Like I have a very intelligent group here. And it's like feeding the intelligence, feeding the mind is a good idea. Because otherwise the mind starts doing its own thing. Yeah, there's a kind of, it's funny, I'm seeing this gold energy and like I'm seeing brilliance. You see, you guys, when you start reading the Gita and, Lazo, you activate your high spiritual intelligence. It activates because it is that helps you understand these works. It's your higher spiritual intelligence, your higher heart intelligence that comprehends them. And I'm seeing this golden brilliance, like brilliant minds, brilliant understanding. And always genius it returns to simplicity. It's just the genius will see the simple answers. It'll be simpler than anything anybody's done. And because they've got access to that simplicity, they can do very complicated things. that look complicated to us, but to them are just this simplicity magnified. Geniuses will go to the heart of the matter of whatever they're studying. They'll know the heart of it. When you know the heart of something, you have full access to the knowledge. There are a couple of you, especially the women, who, you know, it breaks my heart in a way. Because you're trying so hard. You are trying so hard. And the thing you're forgetting is your true self. Yeah. You're going, I love everything except that person who's naked in the middle of the road covered with feces. I'll love everything else but that. But that is where your disowned God self lives. So if you don't learn how to love like yourself, no matter what, like whether you're shamed, humiliated by life, whatever, you keep loving yourself, that person in the middle of the road will never connect up, will never get the shower. And when I say you never, please know that already Premasudha loves the person, the part of you that might be in the road, covered with feces, naked. Premasudha loves you already. Yeah. I mean, let alone Amma with her billion wattage. Please, you guys. Premasudha had lost her noodle, was homeless. Lost her kids, lost her husband. Like I was in the middle of the road covered in feces all by myself. And that's why I know that we're lovable even then. Because without that, this catastrophe in my early 30s, I would not be here. But, if I'd refused to love myself, who would I be? Okay, you guys, who would I be if I hadn't loved myself? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like your whole beauty depends on you loving yourselves. So how can you blossom? And I would have weedy, mornings. I might lie in bed and just pray all morning. Feeling lost, dreary. But, I would just turn the heat up of my prayers. I would turn it up when I felt terrible. You guys getting a deep. It has been a very deep session, you guys. And, this has come from my heart. My concern for you guys is to find a way to transmit this in a way that makes it as easy as possible for you. But you guys, the journey is very arduous anyway, I mean, even with Amma, it took me a long time. But if you can, the next time you feel embarrassed or that you did something wrong, if you could just do something like just, maybe go to the deeper meaning, like me going, okay, I'm showing my heart here. My button comes undone. Or forgive yourself, but please, you see, only you can do it. I can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. Some of you ask me to do this. I can't. And I'll start getting hard with you if you're wanting to avoid loving yourselves, but you're wanting me to, prop you. I won't do that. Love yourselves, you guys. Like, try. But remember, there's always part of me working 24/7, helping you do this. And Amma's got this billion wattage. This is like this opening to grace I talk about. Open to grace, let this love in and let it like heal us. And you know what? You know what I'm seeing, you guys? I'm seeing this incredible golden light coming to this person in the middle of the road covered with feces. There's this incredible light coming to them, and this will be what's happening in you guys. Door to a deeper self-acceptance. And what happens is this distraught figure turns into the divine child. It turns into pure knowledge. The knowledge that comes from daring to just put your arms around yourself and your experience, or at least trying to, no matter what. Okay. Questions or comments? And anything goes, you guys. Anything goes. If something's coming up, just let it come. Step up, step out on thin ice.
Genau, Shivaya, Premasudha.
Yes. Who's that?
Hier ist Kalidas.
Oh, Calidus, yeah. How are you?
Good, a little bit cold, but yeah, I had like a lot of from the satsang, like a lot of things are connected to what I want to share.
Yes, please. Please. Good. I'm Premasudha's happy about this. Yeah.
And so it's also pretty recent, so it's connected to the yesterday's satsang and also my morning, what happened to this morning. And it starts also last week when I was at the meditation center and served. And there was one big experience for me to see that there's a code of conduct to not speak or to speak in a noble speech. And no one cared about it. And I felt like this environment is like spoiled or that was for me, it was like an important part for being there. And then when I wasn't sitting, I felt a lot of anger, a lot of heat first, and I connected to anger. So a lot of heat came up. And then under it, I was like, I want to speak up. I need to speak up. And when I wanted to speak up, of course, there were like things about it felt threatened. But what I wanted more talk about is like I felt if I speak up, I found myself speaking up with so much ill will, with so much like I didn't respect the other ones in a way, and it felt not right, not good that we are talking now. This is the right and good topic again, and I ended up not doing it. I talked in the end with the assistant teacher about my experience, but I didn't spoke up in the big meeting. And I was like always observing this under this anger, this somehow ill will starting to come up. And this morning when I sat here in the forest in Sweden, there was like this, the bum. I felt like it bubbled up. There's this something with competition, like I connect to competition, and that
Yeah. Yes.
I usually okay. First it was like in the yesterday's satsang. It was like we are small kids in adult form bumbling around.
Yes. Yes.
And I this morning came this thought of, oh, I'm this. There's some injured child in me which is like cannot coping it at the moment with that, and now it comes to the surface, and then
That's it.
I was like coming up with, okay, this competition thing has something to do with this. And I connected to a lot of things in my teenager time and my
Okay.
early.
Stop. Pelagos, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, sweetie. You know, it's not. Sometimes it's. Sometimes if we speak in a group and we're cross, it's kind of like it's okay. It's like I feel like you're trying to perfect yourself before any action, and it's kind of like sometimes we just have to experiment. It's like, you know, um, you could stand and yell at everybody and see what happens in you. And the thing is that as you move forward, you can use that anger. So you could stand up and say, I'm really wanting to whatever, to honor this process and have quiet. You guys, what are you doing? Do you see you can do it? The more self-acceptance you come into, the more you can come forward with this material. Because the anger is, I get it. Your garden was being trampled on. Like you can stand and take an action. It just depends how you do it. The more you accept yourself, the more you'll say, oh, I really want quiet. Please, come on, you guys. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You are,
Yeah.
you should, Calidus, you're trying to perfect yourself because you're scared you're going to upset the table. It's the little boy scared that I'm going to upset the table if I really express myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Calidus, it's self-acceptance. Your self-acceptance, man. You are this kid who's vulnerable and unsure of himself. You are that. Calidus, you're trying to do the spiritual journey in like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the problem. You're pushing it. You're trying to fix your humanity, and you're never going to. Yeah, it's the heart of what I want to say to you. You're trying to fix your humanity. You're trying to, instead of just being a human being, just accepting your humanity. You're not self-realized. You're fairly new in the journey. But you're really, really valuable. You know this. And I see this in you. I see your great, great value. And you know your value inside. Yeah, Kellis, I'm not going to please you. Okay, the stuff that the divine wants to say to you is not going to please you. Okay, you have to understand this. It's not. You don't want to hear it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you would be far happier in a way going into an ashram situation and having rules and feeling bad about yourself than what I'm trying to teach you. Yeah, this is beyond an ashram setup. There's no, yeah, and part of you is really attracted, and part of it is your worst nightmare. Right, and that's what you need to see. It's your worst nightmare, because to get what I'm saying, you'd have to feel a lot of stuff that you do not want to feel. And the thing is, Countess, you're a very good student. You're very good. How many men are up for doing this? How many young men are up for doing this? And to ask a young man to actually feel his feelings and feel his inner child stuff, that even women have a hard time. Most women won't do it. Yeah. I'm seeing you as, the ancient Celtic green man. The pictures of the green man, the nature man, the man of nature. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
And I feel, pardon?
I,
Pardon?
I haven't heard of it. The
Yeah.
green man.
Yeah. The green man, you can see the mask of the green man. I'm just seeing you like a green man figure. It's very, very of nature. And, that's where you're going to find it's that. It's like your true. Countess, I have to ask, I promised Nancy, I asked Nancy to come forward with a question that I want you guys to all hear. And I'd forgotten in the second, but I'm wanting to just go to her. I want to leave you kind of like an unfinished symphony, because I want you to like really swallow and digest that you do not want to hear what I have to say to you. You don't.
Yeah.
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 And it's okay. It's okay. I love you. It's okay. You're good. It's all right. It's all good. Yeah. Okay, so just sit with that. And yeah. And we can talk if you need to or not, whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay, Nancy, are you
I'm here.
still here?
I am here.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, Nancy. Thank goodness I remembered. I was getting so carried away. Okay, Nancy had wanted to ask a question last week, remember? And I didn't see it. It's so interesting, Nancy. It's twice now that I didn't see you the first time, and then I almost forgot this time. It's so interesting. So what was your question that you wanted to come forward with? Because I felt this question would really help you guys, actually. That's why I wanted her to speak it.
Would it be okay if I make a comment about what you were
Yes,
talking about?
yes,
I've been on this journey a long time, and something I've discovered recently, learning, it's a middle school teacher, and his passion is helping people to deal with middle schoolers. We get to this, he says, we get to this age where it's time for us to start standing in our own independence and not being so dependent on our parent. And parents just want, you need to get it done. Why don't you just do this? How come you're not just doing this? Well, they don't know how to do it. They don't know. And they're so sensitive socially that
yes,
you're the only one that they can take it out on as your parent. And so he talks about how important it is to be with them in the struggle and explain, like not give them what they want, not be all about their feelings, but to just kind of, I'm right here with you, and here's some
right,
things. We don't have executive functioning to think through. And I think of going to the Gita. It's
yeah,
so much, right? And we want
yes,
practical application, and we have this
yeah,
world full of immediate answers. And so
yeah,
So where that question came from last week was just that. It's just like, okay, I've got lots more to learn, about reparenting myself and getting some of those skills and accepting myself as a good mother or father would accept you and say, I love you and I'm here with you and I'm going to walk you through these things. And then you're prepared. I don't honestly know who Amma is. I just know a little bit about you studying with her. And so I don't know that aspect, but I imagine it's like you saying, Amma is there for you to teach you these things.
But you had a question you were saying
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
week
I'm coming
about...
to that. I'm coming to that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And my question comes up with that, where I don't feel that guidance, I don't feel that security of Amma. It feels like there's evil that's trying to stop me from being good. That I get on this path and it feels like thin ice and it breaks and something
Right.
else happens. And it is there evil force? Is there an evil that doesn't want me to win that I need to contend with? That was my question.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. So a couple of things. I want to talk about, first of all, the word within. And what Nancy was talking about, about the middle school teacher advice to parents. Okay, think of the word within. It's like going in and being with what you find in there, you guys. Being with it. Within. You're with what's inside you. Okay. It's interesting, Nancy. It's like this is so much what will help you as you understand this, being with yourself more. Like one of the things with Amma, when she gives us a hug, we feel her love physically. And part of what Premasudha feels is the result, is that it's easier to accept yourself. So when you're trying to be good, you say you do it's like us Westerners, we will tend to go outside ourselves and do actions, do good actions, and then they will often kind of blow up in our face and we go, oh, every good deed is, no good deed goes unpunished. Right. Okay. Now, the person who understands that the spiritual journey is, it's like it's your own, that you're working with material coming from past lives. You've come in this life with sort of a load of some degree of emotional garbage that you came here to clear. So in the East, they'd say this emotional garbage or the material you came in to clear is like an arrow that has already left the bow. It's already on its way to you, and it's the challenges you are going to meet personally to help you drop your garbage. Okay, so where you're a little bit defended is realizing what a personal journey it is. Like you're kind of, I see you as kind of armored up to face the journey. Okay, I wanna do good in this world. I want to warm up. But there's a level that you're armed against your own heart. You're armored. And that armor is going to get pushback from your life experience. The universe will push you back so that you see this armor and drop it. And we in the West, we're so outer focused, we don't have any safe place to go to if we drop our armor. This is our terrible state. This is why it is so hard for us. This really is the heart of what's bothering you guys in the Satsang. It feels like if you drop your armor, then, you're just going to get crushed. Well, what I'm saying to you is you are a divine being, and Premasudha has been giving love, sharing. She has been crushed. She has been ridiculed. She has been like impoverished. It's like I got a tremendous pushback, and I just took it as I was clearing my own crap. I'm being purified. And I let it purify me till my ego, stepped away. And what you guys get is more the eternal Premasudha. Okay, so did any of that make any sense to you, or how did you feel when I said it?
I felt like you were right. I felt like I could sense that. It's not, it's like I want resources for the reminders or the peace, and I think that that's a difficulty, because I do think that the world has been good or evil for a long, long, long time, that we all have that
Yes.
sort of brainwashed into
Yes.
us. And
Yes.
to see the armor, like I want to soften to it somehow instead of fighting it and trying to rip it off or try to wear it.
Okay,
It's hard not to
That's
be
it.
like
That's
black or white.
exactly it. That's it. And that's why you guys, with all of you guys, it will seem like evil's coming from the outside, that there's an outside force of evil. Okay, now you guys, the evil, even when it's uh, not in the concrete, is just your own ego playing in the invisible realm. It is not an absolute coming from outside you. Right. Okay. So Nancy, I feel like, you know, uh, uh, it's like maybe love can percolate in. It's like maybe you can let the love come in. It's not in your conscious choice, but you need love, sweetie. You need love. You just need love. And you know what? You need honoring for what you've done. Like I'm getting teary with your sincerity, with your true blue sincerity. Yeah. Yeah. And you need to know that it's loved and honored. It's like from the angelic realms. You are loved and honored for all your efforts. And it's deeply understood what it's like to be in the West right now, what our training does to us. Right. And as you get that you're loved and honored more, this armor will dissolve and it turns into wisdom. And it is the loving vibration of the spiritual master that lets them walk through a jungle and be unscathed. But all of us get protected with our innocence. And, this will take some experimentation with you, because part of you will go, is it really real? But it really is. So please keep coming to Satsang. It is what I walked. I know it's true. And it wasn't in an ashram. Right. Right. You have there's a toughness in you, a very tough male that comes up to defend you. People who know you deeply will know this part, right? And yeah, right. Like, yeah. And this will be true of many of the others too. This male, the more you're feminine, the more your heart awakens, the more what will happen is this male will come in support of you gently. Okay. Yeah, it's what every woman dreams of, actually. It's like a man in their life that comes in and actually deeply supports them. Really, this is what we all, it's true. Right. Okay. But, when we learn how to give this to ourselves, and when you give it to yourself, even the men around you will change how they behave. You are entitled to this. You need to hear this formally. I am formally telling you, you are entitled to this. You've earned this. You have, not only do you just deserve it, but in your actions in the years past, you've earned this. Like, I'm seeing you get a badge of honor. Okay, Premasudha had a very defensive male. Okay, but as my feminine woke up and I stepped forward in her, the male came in behind me. Yeah. This is so important. I actually think this is more the way the satsangs may go, is this emotional psychological thing. Yeah. So how do you feel right now, Nancy?
It's so one of the, I can just talk?
Yeah, just talk.
God, this is exactly what I've struggled with for such a long time because I'm not going to say why, but I'm afraid to say, like you talked about at the meditation place, just going, I just want some quiet here to see things. I see things that like it needs to be this way. And I feel mean. I feel like I'm being a bitch if I say anything. If I speak up, I just don't do it. I just
I
shrink
know.
and shrink and shrink.
Yes.
And this is,
Yeah.
I've been in a relationship with someone for 8 years and just like mostly friends because I'm standing for something. I don't want to be in another relationship where I'm being manipulated. So I'm standing for myself and I've never done that before. And anyway, you're touching on a lot of things that are coming up and I'm just standing for myself and it feels affirming what you're saying. It feels very affirming.
Yeah. And I'm wanting you to feel safe enough to allow the deepening, because part of this standing for yourself. Yeah. And we need enough safety to deepen. And that's what I'm wanting to offer you guys, this emotional embrace so you can deepen. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point.
And I don't mean standing for myself in an armored way, right? But I think that when you first start doing that and you felt like you had no
Yes.
ability to speak up, that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm being
Yes.
violent.
Yeah. And it felt, I heard it in your words a little bit, that there was a little bit of a defensiveness in it. But it's like, until you get used to it, until it's okay. It's okay. I just want to listen for something. Yeah, it's kind of like, Nancy, there's something like a rebirth that could happen for you, that where you are bringing something very precious. You want to bring something very precious to this world, and it's like this rebirth wanting to happen. And part of you, you're going to be challenged to keep trusting enough for this rebirth to happen. Okay. And I want you to let yourself be guided too, because I'll tell you, a Premasudha, if I hadn't met Amma and let myself be guided, I'd be totally lost in the labyrinth. We actually need some input from somebody who can see farther than us. Okay. But this is for you. It's really like you're not sure that you can trust that much, And I'm talking about also some time in the future. Like, it's not right away, but I'm telling you this to kind of seed you with the idea that there's something there's a kind of God self, your God gift, the gift that you came here to give. It's sitting there waiting. Okay. and it just needs some care and fertilizer. So just do your best with it. Premasudha would say, listen to what I say, because this is what I've walked. But, you know, we all have to have our own autonomy. It's all good. Yeah, you guys, okay, it is. Okay, I almost want to stand up and announce. The problem is surrender. You guys, let yourself learn to accept yourselves and surrender to the Creator. Please. Please. We don't know the big story. We know so little. Keep surrendering. Keep going, help me, show me. We do not know how little we know. May you become masters of surrender. It's a big relief to give it over, take it off your shoulders, to give it to the universe, Amma, the Creator, to show you. As soon as you do that, you have a chance. Right. 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 And there was Nancy, I saw this. There's this gold sitting sort of right on top of your heart, just wanting to be allowed in. This golden. Yeah. Part of you doesn't know how to receive it. Yeah, you don't know how to receive it, but you feel held enough by Premasudha that you're kind of willing to just be there. Yeah, that's good. That's where you are. This maybe is also reflecting you guys, that you're feel embraced enough to just wait and let the light slowly come in. Yeah. And it's funny, Nancy, I immediately saw you were scared. Okay, if I let this light in, darkness is going to want to come in too. And it's like, yeah, that's just your head. It's your head. It's just your head. Don't worry. Yeah, that's good. You guys are more prepared to walk your talk. I can feel this. Not that you have to, but I can feel that you're the comprehension coming. And you know, Amma's doing it. The Creator's doing it. And you know, I will be speaking, you know, more in the future about the process of soul retrieval. And remember, you guys, like, try to get what I'm talking about. Try. Don't let it just spill over you. Okay, well, this Nancy, are you complete? Is this okay? We're coming up to 90 minutes, so I'm feeling like people have to go.
Yes, thank
But I
you.
just want to make sure that you're okay.
Okay. I have
Yeah.
more questions, but they can wait.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, great. Thank you for that. That helped everybody. Okay, you guys, my beloveds, you dear souls, you dear souls. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll just keep doing this. And you know, you're so in my heart. You have no idea. Okay, bye.